Hey everybody, Corey with North Star Homestead. Just wanted to give you a quick intro here. I'm going to give you a property tour today. Long and short of it is that in April of 2023, my wife and I were, blessed with an opportunity to move from a city in Minnesota that had about 27,000 population to just outside of town. We lived in a modest 3-bedroom, 2-bath home on a 1/4 acre in town, and this opportunity came up for us to buy approximately 13 acres without buildings and infrastructure mostly in place. We got really lucky with this property, and it's something we'd been wanting to do for a long time. We'd lived in our house for 10 years and you know, things just started to kind of get a little sketchy around our area. So we decided that it was time to take the leap and move out to the country. And the last year and a half has kind of been a roller coaster. Ups, downs, sides, side to side, back and forth, upside down, and the rest. So, there's a lot going on this year in 2025. I've wanted to vlog our experience and our progress to this point, but you know, life gets in the way. We kind of know how that goes. So in addition to work and other commitments, it's been a little bit tough, but I'm committed this year to actually starting and documenting our progress on this property, because it's important for future generations to know exactly what struggles and trials, tribulations, all that stuff, everything you went through to kind of get to where you are. Because a lot of folks just think, hey, you know, it fell in your lap. Well, those of us who homestead and want to homestead, or farm even, nothing but enormous respect for farmers coming from me. So a lot of folks don't know how the food on your plate gets to your plate. So it's important that we document and record and let future generations see what it is that we did to get here. So I'm going to kind of drive a little bit around the property. It's blowing about 20 miles an hour outside right now. So here in southern Minnesota in the middle of winter, we haven't had a ton of snow the last 2 seasons, so that's kind of nice. But at the same time, the wind out here is constant. There are very little wind breaks. That's been the fun part of adjusting to country life, is the wind. So yeah, let's go around the property. We have a house, a 3-bedroom house. Again, another, you know, just super modest house, which we're fine with. That way we don't have to clean it. Clean a monster house anyway. We have 2, 4, 6 outbuildings and some grain bins in addition to pasture. So let's go along for the ride here, and I will commentate as we go. All right, so we're rolling down our main driveway here with our farm truck, the indestructible Chevy S10, voted the best farm truck in America. So right in the center of the property here is our workshop. These buildings were all put up in the 1930s, and I'll take you in each one of them here as we kind of progress a little bit here. But I'm just going to take you around the property by truck today, and then in another video I'll take you in each one of these buildings. This one is a granary, where they ran an auger up through that window there, and there's a bunch of chutes inside that, you know, the feed came down so that they could feed the livestock. Got a pasture here. Really quick off to the left, there's the house with another main pasture. Main road's right there. We're lucky to have 2 driveways here, so this is our secondary driveway. That was for when the grain bins are being used. The semi trucks would come in this driveway. They'd go down around the grain bins here, drop off, fill up, whatever it is that they're doing, and then head out the other way. So we had kind of a wet spring, and working full-time and volunteering also, you don't have a whole lot of time to keep up on some things, but we actually upgraded some equipment this year. So we were running, some of you might laugh, we were running a 50-inch Toro zero turn, like a residential style zero turn, and it did the job for about a year. I mean, it did okay. And then we also had a John Deere 1025R open station tractor with a belly mower on it, 60-inch, that we were kind of running for grass mowing and all that fun stuff this year, and when we first got here. And it didn't really work out how we wanted it to. There was a lot of issues with the belly quick attach mower on the John Deere. We bought it pre-owned, and then so we traded that in for a cab tractor with a rotary mower on the back, PTO rotary mower, and we got a bigger zero turn, a commercial zero turn that moves way faster, and we got that late last season, so we didn't have a whole lot of time to get used to it and get it out here and get used. So each one of those pieces of equipment have 20 hours on probably the tractor, and then the zero turn probably has about 7 hours on it. So we haven't gotten a lot of use out of them yet, but in the spring we're gonna be rocking and rolling out here, and this place is gonna be meticulous. So off on the left here we have our neighbors. So part of our property is probably the partition is probably that utility line where that line is. So our neighbors are really awesome. We get along really well with our neighbors out here, and we all look out for one another. So that's kind of what we're looking for. In town, we loved our neighbors too. They were awesome. Their kids were great. Still talk to them. We kind of watched the kids grow up, so that was a real treat for us. So we have 5 grain bins, about 65,000 bushel capacity. They're all in great shape from the 70s. So we've got a bulk feed bin there too, and they don't have dryers, they have fans. So we're gonna try and get some use out of them. We put them up for rent the last couple years, but we haven't had any bites quite yet. They're not really massive in farming standards for grain bins. So we haven't gotten any use out of them. We did clean them up last year though, so they're all pretty well swept and taken care of. So here's the back side of those buildings, the workshop on the left and the granary on the right. One thing we loved about this property is that all of the roofs were replaced with steel, and siding on this building was also replaced with steel. They did what they could to maintain them, but the folks that they lived here before us. The property was vacant for about 1.5 to 2 years before we got it, and they were older folks who just weren't not as mobile as they used to be, and they couldn't really maintain it, so they sold it, and we're very lucky to have gotten it. But a lot of these buildings do need some TLC and maintenance. The workshop on the left has seen better days. It could use some paint, it could use windows, just stuff that can be done. It's just time, and a lot of it's money also, because inflation is really killing, not only the average family, but it's also killing, farmers and people who are trying to be farmers. My wife and I never imagined in a million years that we'd be out here starting a farm, but it's a very rewarding life if you work at it, and you learn a lot. So that's part of why we're doing it. Gives us some purpose. So Yeah, this building could use some windows. We actually are converting that into a wood shop, and I'll take you in there at some point and show you the progress on that. The other thing about infrastructure that I mentioned earlier in the video is that a lot of the infrastructure is already in place. This property has 2 wells on it, a brand new septic system, brand new roof. This place is rocking and rolling, ready to go. Electricity to each building is huge. The only building that does not have electricity in it on this whole property is that open shed right there. So that open shed, long story short, this used to be a hog farm. So with it being a hog operation, you need power pretty much anywhere you go, I suppose. So that building had it at one point, but they took it out. We found some cut electrical wire in there, and we just don't know where it went to. So there is quite a bit to do over there. I'll take you over there first. Why not? This is a bridge. There's a farm drainage that kind of goes through the middle of our property, and our neighbors kind of come in and keep it clear for us as part of their operation, obviously. So out here we've been kind of using this for covered storage, but we are getting livestock here in 26, and we're just getting things ready for it. So this building probably could use a little facelift. Maybe I know that right side right there where the RV is needs some tin, so we'll probably put some tin up this summer, and maybe reinforce the roof, because that roof line's sagging a little bit, so we'll have to assess and see what's going on with that. Concrete's not in the greatest of shape. It's settled and cracked, and it does what concrete does, but they probably made concrete back then better than they do today. Who knows? So this will be a nice building for livestock. And we got more neighbors down there. We got some nice pines growing over there. So back here behind the house is the tree line, kind of intended as a windbreak, but doesn't really do a good job of it anyway. So coming back this way, obviously our septic mound is up over there, and we've got our LP tank for heat, winter heat. And we did do some work to the property when we first moved in. We had some concrete work done, some electrical work done. So it's kind of the back side of the house. Now back here where that car is, all the way up to that corner, that's our property line. So this is all going to be part of our rotational grazing plan for our livestock. We are between sheep, goats, maybe both, cattle. Haven't quite decided yet, but we are planning for all those things. Fencing obviously has to go up because we're right next to a paved highway. We've got some neighbors up over there. We're actually only about 8 minutes from the town that we moved from. So coming back this way, if you look over there, there is a spillway for the farm drainage right there. I kind of have a couple of stakes marked, but I need to do a better job at getting that clearly marked in case we're out here driving and somebody decides that they, might want to send it. Hopefully not. Back in 2018, a tornado came through here and what happened was it fell on this Quonset, the hoop building right in front of me. That was put up in 1939 also. And there is electricity in there, which is awesome. There are no lights, unfortunately, but there's electricity in there. So we use that building for storage. And they do not build them like they used to. That is for sure. So we had a little bit of concrete work done on this. We fixed the doors, and I mean, it could still use a lot more work, but for it being what it is, I mean, it's pretty solid. So we're coming back to an area where some of these trees were cut down. So there's the tree that we cut down. My father-in-law was cool enough to come and help us last year. The one that we used to hit the stump right next to on the building and patched up. So there's that repair right there. It's not a forever repair. It's just, you know, let's get it covered up so the elements don't get in there and reassess at that point. She's pretty well dented up from, you know, being around for 90 years, but she does okay. So we got some more pasture out here where the grass is tall. That's ours, obviously. So because we don't know how to mow, but it'll be good for grazing anyway. Here's our burn pile where we bring all of our brush. There's the south field. We do not farm any of this. All this cropland around us is owned by our neighbors, and we keep an eye on it for them. So last year they grew soybeans. First year we moved in, it was corn. Now there was a silo right over there where the wood is on the concrete pad. So I'll take you over that way and we can kind of work our way back. That's all the wood from the tree we cut down. So there was a silo there, but a grain silo, but the neighbor took that down, I think, and brought it over to his place. So all that wood's gonna get chopped up and used for the stove in the workshop. It'll be good for burning. It's the back side of the pole shed. That's the part of the reason why we bought this place, is that monster pole shed right there, and I'll take you in there in this video. That'll probably be one of the only buildings we take you in right now. Got some things going on today that are keeping us busy. This building right here is our cat barn slash chicken coop. We've got some compost on the side here that we were working on. Now, this building had hogs in it. It was a hog building, and it's got concrete pads on the sides, and you know, we've got our fuel tanks right there that we kind of just run equipment through. We've got gas and diesel that we fill up in, and that's great. The co-op here in the area is awesome. They come and drop off the fuel, and I'll tell you guys a little bit more about that and how that might be advantageous to do that on your homestead, because it was a game changer for us, that's for sure. Not having to run into town all the time with fuel cans is a big time saver. So there is quite an upfront cost to that, but it's awesome to have. And we just plug those in on extension cords to run the pumps, and co-op comes out every year and swaps out the filters for us and fills them up. So that's awesome. But anyway, this chicken barn that we have is or old hog barn is the building that we first worked on. We wanted to start with chickens and get some eggs, start our sustainability, I guess, or self-sustainability, and it's taught us a lot. And I think that our operation with poultry and chickens, maybe ducks in the future, I don't know, but it might grow bigger than we think, just because the demand for farm fresh eggs and the cost of store-bought eggs is insane with bird flu obviously is a big factor, but my wife has grown to, I guess, foster that business and build the relationships, and she does a great job of keeping up on the market trends and all that stuff, and taking care of those clients who have been with us from the beginning, the customers that have been with us from the beginning. So if it pays for itself and the feed, I'm all right with it. I mean, we had a pretty big investment up front with that, and I'll show you our coop, but it was fun to do, and I wish I would have documented or recorded that project while we were doing it, because that would have been nice to have from the beginning there. That's your sign, Farm Fresh Butt Nuggets, squeeze daily. So we just run equipment straight through here, kind of like a pull-through gas station. There's our gas tank and our diesel tank. Tractor goes right through here. That's kind of why we got it. It's a compact equivalent to a John Deere 3 Series, so it just runs right through here. This is the chicken coop lean-to that we added on last season, last summer. And it's an indoor-outdoor. It's got an automatic door that runs with the light outside, with the sun. And that's a game changer too. Sometimes we'll find chickens kind of roaming out here after dark, but can't wait to take you in there. She designed it, it was great, and I was just the labor. Normally how that works. So I'm gonna park here and bring you inside. Please mind the wind. Now, I'm not gonna do a shop tour today. I will take you inside and just kind of show you what, the reason behind why we moved so quickly on this property. And by quickly, I mean that from the time we learned about it in April, we went to, a lot of things had to fall into place for us to get this house, and it was kind of like divine intervention, I guess you would call it. And I'm gonna have to sit down and on the camera and just talk to you guys about what happened for this property to fall in our lap here, and it was really a blessing. So with the shop, there's a lot of business opportunity that kind of comes into play with the shop, and not only that, but also having the ability to work on your equipment inside. So I'll just take you in there quick. Please mind the wind. Don't mind the wind. Keypad access is a must. All right, so zoom out so you guys have kind of an idea as to how big this shop is. It's 100 by 55. It is cold, so we are sitting currently at 24 degrees, 22 degrees, somewhere in there. And the wind just bucks right off the steel in there. So this shop is literally a dream. So there's our tractor. It's a bad boy 4035 CH. I'll do a review on that at some point. It's been great. We've had it since October. Having a cab has literally changed my life, because we came from an open station 1 Series John Deere. So having a cab is amazing. So I'll probably do a review on that. That's our go-getter, the Gator. Great to have around. In case you're wondering, all these toys in here, not everything is mine. From the Gator back, RV, none of that stuff is mine. We do storage for customers out here because we don't have, equipment big enough to need this kind of space. So they had their farmers that came before us had their combines, semi, grain trucks, all that stuff were parked in here. That's what the loft is for, if you need to wash or work on, the cabs of your combines or whatever. From what I understood, that's how they got up there, and they were able to see on top. That's now my parts department. I'll show you why. The loft is for storage for the house, but the underneath is the parts department for our shop. We do have stuff laying around. It's winter time. A lot of stuff can't be outside. Oil change stuff. So here's our commercial zero turn that we went to. It's a bad boy Rogue 72 inch with a Kawasaki EFI. Fuel injected engine on the back. Thing's a beast. Mows at about 13 and a half miles an hour. Just tears it up. This is one of my favorites. 1946 Willis CJ2A. Original motor. Working on this one with my son before he goes off to the military. So pretty awesome. So no idea why the camera flipped on me. Kind of a recap or an overview on what brought us out here, what we're planning to do, and maybe review some products that has helped make our lives easier. And this is just the intro. So thank you all for watching, and comment, ask questions below, like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And hopefully this is the beginning of a great channel. Thank you.